All right. Hi, my name is Abhay. I'm a 26-year-old artist. I've been practicing art since 5 years, and this is my first tech talk, by the way. And the topic I've chosen is life strokes. So each and every stroke has played a very important part in my life, and each stroke has been very chaotic, very ambiguous. You do not know where this is going, but like a painting, it just turns out to be beautiful. It has a very beautiful ending to it. And I feel I am 1/4 there, or even 35% there, and there are 275 degrees left right now in my life, because I'm just starting out. The first stroke is the concrete childhood I had, and the where my childhood memory starts. All of us, we have this one memory that from there we remember our childhood starting off. I remember mine from the age of 4. I was sent to a boarding school in Dehradun at the age of 4. I was in kindergarten, and there I did not even know English. I had absolutely no clue. It was a very big switch from Jalandhar to Dehradun. And the best part about the boarding school life was that no one cares where you're from. No one cares who your father is, how much money your father makes. All you'll be recognized for is your personality, whatever you have achieved in life, and what your aura is. And that's the best thing I love about a school life. Even if I was in the day boarding school like you guys, I would absolutely live by that motto, because there is a raw emotion towards schooling. And honestly, I had one of the best years over there. I wasn't the best at academics. I wasn't the best athlete. Neither was I a head boy or any office barrier. But the point was that it gives you this urge of achieving something, being recognized. Even if you're not recognized, it makes you think when you go home that, I need to do something in order to be recognized by my friends or have more friends. The second stroke of my life was how art entered my life. The way I started sketching out was whenever the teachers used to teach. I was not the smartest one, so I never paid attention. I'll be very honest. I was the backbencher of my class. And my idea was ki just take a piece of paper out, just start sketching, just so that I don't have to listen whatever is going on in my class. And that just became a habit. And I realized that I started enjoying it a lot. And trust me, if you guys hear today that I'm an artist, I was not the best artist in my school. I used to be one of those artists who's assisting the best artist of the grade or the school. And none of the teachers or any of my friends have ever said in my school life that, you should pursue art. You're very good at what you do. No one said that. But this was something I enjoyed. I absolutely loved it. There's always something in our life that we absolutely love. It does not have a voice. It is a medium. It might be an instrument. It might be sports. It could be anything. But you absolutely love what you do, and you just zone out. And that zone out for me was art. So some of those things, either they turn out to be your hobby, right? And if you're passionate about it or crazy enough about it, it turns out to be your career. The third stroke is being a child at heart. Although I feel, you guys are still there, but I do feel that when I was a kid, I used to make these innocent mistakes or be absolutely clueless. Whenever someone in school or in your life or your college, you guys are in IB, right? So you will have college counselors who are always talking to you and guiding you through the direction you want to pick. But I think it's absolutely okay to be clueless in life, because I found my genre, right? My genre was creativity. So I told my family, like it's a business oriented family, and I'm from a small town, so they are very about like if you can make a career out of it, then go it. If you can make money out of it, then go about it. Otherwise, you don't have to do it. So I came up with the plan, telling my parents that that time 2013, I think graphic design was at its peak. That time it was making a lot of money, and so I told them, I'll become a graphic designer and I'll open my own ad agency or something. I had absolutely no clue what I was telling them, but whatever. I applied. I was in IB as well, 11th and 12th. I was in Pathways, Gurgaon. So I applied to the Art Institute of Chicago. That was one of the best colleges. My luck came out. I got in, and I wasn't the kid who got a scholarship as well, okay? I totally blew my dad's money in the college tuition. So I went there, and the best part about the college was that the first year I did graphic designing, sticking to the script I told my father. Second year, I was trying out animation. The third year, I was trying out photography and VFX. And by the time the fourth year hit, I think I had a hint that, okay, maybe I can become a visual effects artist for Marvel or Disney, because I absolutely enjoy Marvel. I love it. So I thought I'll do this. And COVID hit in my final year. And when you're abroad, especially in the US, you need to get a job within 3 months in order to stay there for your OTP visa. And since the lockdown hit, I made a very impulsive decision. All my friends left, yeah, like 98% of them left. The only people who stayed were the Americans who were in America. The remaining, all they left back to their countries. And I chose to stay in Chicago. I was like, if you're not passionate about something, if you're passionate enough, right? No matter what the circumstances, you do it. If I have to be a good cricket player, footballer, you do it every day, no matter what the circumstances. It's raining, your parents are yelling at you, there's homework to finish, I don't care, I'll do it every day. So for me, that was the mindset I always believed in. And I did that. I stayed in that country. I was all on my own, and I packed my bags, I moved to Miami. I did not know anyone there. I just took a very impulsive flight. I got an unpaid job, not even a paid job. I got an unpaid job, and I went as a salesperson at an art gallery. That was this next stroke of my life, where I started off my career, which was in 2020, by the way. It's been almost 5 years now. I packed my bags, I moved to Miami, and I work as a salesperson. Now, there are 3 very important things I learned over there. That if you're trying to have, like for example, if you want to become an athlete or a musician, typically there'll be people who will tell you, you should work under this artist or this music singer or whatever, so that you can achieve those skills. But I'll tell you that even if you're in that field, like for example, if I want to be a footballer, and even if I'm the ball boy, it's okay. As long as I'm in that field, it's okay. It's totally okay. You know what your dream is, and it'll constantly remind you where you are right now and where you want to be in the future. So sales was something like that at an art gallery. I saw these guys. The second thing, which was, I saw these artists coming and making a living. I was like, they're making insane amount of money. They're living happily. They're just making their works, and we are the ones selling it, and that's crazy, because being from Punjab, then being in a boys' boarding school in the start, there's absolutely no way that you would think that art can make a living. You can make a living out of art or a career out of art. And the third thing I realized was that I knew where I stood in front of them. It was, every day I looked at them, I was like, if you guys can do it, I'll do it, and I'll do it better than you, and I'll kill it, So 10 a.m. to 8 p.m. I used to work, I used to do my job, and I used to come back home 8:39, I'll start working. I'll start doing my own art, and I'll do it until 3 a.m. 3 a.m. and then have 6 hours of sleep and then wake up the next day again. Not because I wanted to be perfect at what I do. It's just to remind myself that there's a long way to go and you need to keep doing it until you achieve it. And वो 5 साल कहाँ निकल गए ना मुझे भी नहीं पता. ऐसे निकल गए, The next, okay, I was mentally a bit exhausted because, 3 years I was there in the lockdown also, and I felt a bit drained out. So I chose to move back to India. And in my head, or in any typical family's head, it'll be that it's a suicide mission. If you're starting out as an artist, your trajectory is going to take time, but it might be on some way, and then you realize that, okay, you want to move back to Jalandhar. What are you going to do there, How will you start off? And I told myself, I listened to my impulse, I listened to my gut feeling, because I do believe very strongly that when your heart says something, listen to it, dimag apne aap cope up karega uske saath, So I did that, I moved back, and I started off my career. I think that year when I moved back, 2021, was the slowest year in my career. Absolutely nothing was happening. I was analyzing, getting rejected from so many people. Like, I think I was one of the people who had emailed almost every art gallery in India. Every art gallery in India. Every day, my job was not to do art in the day. My job was, I wake up, I'll send emails until 4 p.m. to each and every gallery that I see on Google or I know of. And trust me, bro, I didn't even get one answer. I didn't even get one answer out of the 200 or 300 emails I had sent. And then I realized that, if you don't know me, I'll make you know me, who I am. Then I started off with social media. I'll open my Instagram account and then I'll showcase my art and I'll start putting my art out, and touch wood, it grew a bit, and then people started reaching out. So what I realized is that I might be 10 years elder to you, but with us, we are very lucky that we have this social media platform, man. Like, it is my bread and butter. I'm not even kidding. It is my bread and butter. And for you guys, you do not have to be very good at anything you do. But if you want to have a niche, or you want to put yourself out with some raw talent, doesn't have to be anything which the whole world is doing. You can be doing your own thing. Then that's one platform that will give you a very equal opportunity. No one cares about where you belong, what you do. Even school needs a fees for you to enter. Instagram doesn't need any. So, and there are so many, you'll realize how much talent there is in India, man. Like, if you actually practice that. And the last thing is, 5 months ago, I chose to open a clothing line. It's called Code Brown. The idea was that I want to release a clothing line or a streetwear that talks about how a brown person or a brown artist is perceiving clothing. I wanted this brand to be like, if you ever think about Asian culture, you'll always think that they have an aesthetic. If you think about the European brands, you'll always think of an aesthetic. But whenever I think about an Indian brand or an Indian streetwear, I'll always think about ethnic wear. I can't think about streetwear. It's always that wannabe American brand, wannabe European brand. So that's my thing. I really wanted to launch this brand that has a cult within India or even globally, that, like Mandeep sir said, that the power of manifestation. So I manifest that Code Brown will have this cult feeling, or this cult within India. And within 5 months, I'm not even kidding. Within 5 months, the day I launched, my father, he told me, take a franchisee, because I'm crazy about Gymshark. So my dad is like, no, try finding this distributorship of Gymshark and finding the brand which can actually make you sales. I told him, no, I'll launch my own brand. It's way crazier and way a bigger flex to have your own brand than have a franchisee that the owner also probably doesn't know you. So we started off, and trust me, Hanuman kind wore it, Vicky Ghosh wore it. We got featured in Bazaar, we got featured in Elle within a span of 5 months. And I mean, we're just starting out, we're not even a year old. So you'd probably see where this thing goes, since I've mentioned Code Brown to you. The whole point of telling you this is not what I'm doing, but it's more on the power of manifestation. Like he had a whole talk about. And I do think it's a very beautiful thing. And in the end, I would like to say, no matter what anything happens, no matter how clueless you are, you don't know what you're doing, it's okay. Just keep trying things, keep doing things until and unless in the end you'll figure it out. But be consistent at what you do. And if you're consistent, it's the most beautiful thing. The most beautiful things will come to you. Thank you.